It's the FA Cup weekend, and let's be honest, it's one of those like moments in football, the football season that I mean, well, personally, I absolutely love. I love the FA Cup, and I just, third round as well is always especially quite a special one. And West Ham are facing Bristol City at London Stadium, and let's be fair, it's a favourable draw for us, and we don't get a lot of them really in these cup competitions. We always tend to get the sort of, the big hitters away. Always been very harsh on us. You feel these draws, so it's quite nice that we're playing a side in the Championship at home. That being said, though, we can't go into it lightly. We can't take them lightly at all because we know that these games can be very tough, and I think Bristol City will be up for it. Before we go into West Ham, let's do what we usually do. Let's talk about Bristol City. Now, look, obviously, I don't know a great deal about them in terms of the club and how they run and all that kind of stuff. I kind of did some research beforehand. I've seen them a few times, but over the last couple of seasons. And they're a club I quite like, a really young side. I mean, at the moment, they're sitting 11th in the Championship. They're 4 points off the playoffs. That shows you they're not a bad side. It is a very congested league, that is the Championship this season. Well, it is most seasons, but this year particularly, it's very, very tight. I mean, you can go right down. It's only a few points to separate the sort of top sides to sort of like even below the mid-table. So, and Bristol City are firmly in there. And I like them. They're a club that, I mean, I always like young sides. I think that's always quite good. You feel like they're sort of building something quite special. And you kind of look at them as a club that, I mean, I don't know about yourselves, but I look at them and think I can see them in the Premier League in the next couple of years. I kind of think they're one of those clubs that are going to get in there, get in the top flight. And hopefully they do. It'd be great. And hopefully they fare quite well. But, they've got some jobs to do. They've got Liam Manning now in charge. Of course, he was at West Ham. He was involved in our academy. I think he went away. If I remember rightly, I think he went abroad to America. I should have checked this out beforehand, but I think he went away and then he's come back now and he's managing Bristol City. Look, he's doing very well. Obviously, the only reason I looked at them quite a fair bit over the summer was because we were after Alex Scott. Of course, he went on to Bournemouth. He looks a good player. I'm one of those I'm gutted that we missed out on because I just love the way he plays. Real talent. You can see he's going to go places. I don't think Bournemouth would be his kind of final place in terms of his progression. I think he might push on and go to a bigger club, and hopefully, we'll be in with a shout of him one day. But I don't know what, there's that phrase that I think it might have picked up from Gonzo actually, where he says you get one shot at some of these players. Before they make their big jump into the sort of the bigger leagues, like the Premier League, etc. We had a chance in Alex Scott. You get the feeling if he does very well at Bournemouth, and of course he's had a couple of injuries there, which I think's plagued him a little bit since he started. But once he hits the ground running, you get the feeling that big clubs are going to start sniffing around him, and maybe we have missed the chance. But look, who's to know that we can't come in again? Maybe not. But a player I really like. And to be fair to Bristol City, right, you lose a player of that quality, especially in the Championship, you think it's going to really knock them. But they're doing well. They're picking up some good results this season, looking solid. I will say their away form isn't great from what I've seen. I don't think they've got the best away record. And I think that's obviously that's going to help us, hopefully, that they're probably going to come to this game with a little bit of anxiety, playing a side that's in the Premier League, knowing that they've not been great on the road this season. But look at their club. I mean, Ashton Gate, 27,000-seater stadium. They're a decent-sized club and fair play to them. Really fair play to them. I've got to admire them and think, that's what you want to see, isn't it? These clubs that are smaller, that are building. They are one of the clubs that just feels like they're building something. They've got a bit of a plan and they're working towards something, which is ultimately, you'd imagine their target is to get into the Premier League. Well, can they do it this season? Possibly, if they can get in that playoff position. I don't think they'll do. I think the top two places are pretty much gone already by the looks of it in terms of Ipswich and Leicester City. Well, I mean, Leeds are obviously chasing it as well, but I think that'll probably be beyond them. But, if they can sneak a place in the playoffs, then who's to know? They could well go and do something. Look at their players. I say I've done a little bit of research, and I don't know a lot of them, really. I've kind of watched a couple of highlights before I did this. Tommy Conway is their top scorer. He's got 6 goals. What I quite like about them is they seem to be spreading goals across the team, because after that, you've got Mark Sykes and Jason Knight, who are up there with the goals as well. You probably look at them really, considering the amount of games they've played this season and the goals. I mean, 6, 5, and 4 aren't great. So probably that's what they're lacking, is a sort of a striker, a decent forward, or someone's going to bag them those level of goals. So if you've got someone that's bagging you 20 goals a season, that could be the difference of getting, missing out the playoffs, and not. So, missing out the playoffs and then getting in. So I think that's probably their little bit of a weakness from what I can see. But look, a good all-round side, young, hungry, and you get the feeling that if they don't make the playoffs this season, they'll be challenging again, as long as obviously they don't lose any of their key players. But no, they're good. And this is going to be an interesting game for West Ham in terms of the fact that They're not. When you think of the FA Cup and you want the easier draws, in my mind, I'm always thinking I want a home draw, so we've got that tick, and then you want a lower league opposition, which we got as a tick. But when it comes to someone like Bristol City, who are doing pretty well in the Championship, you don't really see that as rub your hands together, this should be quite comfortable. You think, blimey, they're going to be a challenge here. They're a team that wants to come up. They're going to be trying to push for playoffs this season. It's going to be a challenge. So I was obviously hoping we'd be getting sort of League One, League Two, get through these rounds, and then start get to the business end of the tournament. Because the FA Cup's so magical, isn't it? And I'd love to see us lift it. Obviously, 2006, wasn't it? We got close against Liverpool. So it's one of those, I just want to see us lift it in my life. I really do. And I really hope we take it seriously. Bristol City certainly are. They're bringing 9,000 fans, I believe, up to East London. This is going to be a noisy encounter, and good luck to them. I love it. Love the FA Cup. I love the idea they're going to come here and make a lot of noise, lift their team. And I want it to be a good game. I want it to be one of those that we can indulge in a bit of FA Cup. But, of course, we don't want it to be the banana skin, of course. We don't want to be embarrassed. Embarrassed, that's a bit harsh on Bristol City. But we want to advance this game. Let's be honest, West Ham are a bigger club than Bristol City, of course, and we've got better players than them. That's just facts. I'm not trying to be nasty there. So we should be advancing. But the FA Cup's got that magic about it, and you just do not know. Let's talk about West Ham. Very, very good run of form at the moment. Let's be honest. It's been remarkable the last few weeks. Christmas period was fantastic. I mean, we've seen some great results in December, beating Tottenham, beating Man United, Arsenal, but Wolves at home comfortably. I think we've got 4 games now unbeaten. We haven't conceded a goal in the Premier League, and it's remarkable. Been really, really good. But I'll tell you what, though, I will go and say this. I think there's a bit of pressure on David Moyes in this one, and I'm not saying that his job's under threat. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is I think there's a bit of pressure on him to deliver in this, because I don't know about you, and let me know your thoughts on it. I'm still a bit pissed off with him for what we did against Liverpool in the League Cup, that quarter-final. Look, I appreciate he said about congestion and all this kind of stuff, but let's be honest, we threw that game to prioritise the league. Look, we went on, let's be honest, after the Liverpool game, we went on and beat Man United, Arsenal, which is fantastic for us. I'm really pleased about it. And obviously drew them with Brighton. The points tally after that and around that fixture has been fantastic. So in a sense, I hate to say it, he's kind of been slightly justified, because he had to say, I'm throwing that game because I want to do well in the league, and we're sitting 6th. So in a sense, his decision has been justified in his eyes. But as West Ham fans, I want to see us go and lift the trophy, and I just felt that was such a good opportunity that we threw away, especially considering the fact Liverpool fielded a weak side. Now, there was an angry backlash, which was expected from fans. Feel like Moyes should have put out a stronger team, and we just didn't go for it. Even tactically, we didn't look like we were up for it. None of the players looked hungry. It wasn't a good day for West Ham. So you get the feeling now that there's a bit of pressure on David Moyes here, not only to take this seriously, but to go and get a bloody good result, put out a strong side, put in a good performance. And let's be frank as well, against a side like Bristol City at home, we cannot accept a defensive display. Ultimately, the most important thing is advancing to the fourth round. That's what matters, of course. But West Ham fans, this is going to be a busy stadium. I understand it. I think it's pretty much sold out from what I understand it. So it's going to be noisy, which I love. I think that's fantastic. Great support. But I tell you what, fans want to be entertained. They're going to say, right, go at Bristol City, let's get some goals. I think we will. I think West Ham are going to go for it. I can't see West Ham being defensive minded in this. I think it can't be. I mean, you can't not go against Bristol City, no disrespect to them, and be thinking, well, let's try and play counter-attack and just defend. I just can't see that being the case in this one. And Moyes owes the fans on this one. Moyes owes the fans, and after Liverpool, and I think, and also bearing in mind, there's no fixture congestion now. He can't turn around and say, well, I've got that in mind. We don't play football for another, 2.5 weeks of Premier League. So I don't want to hear anything like that. I just want us West Ham to go out there and take this bloody seriously, because we want to do well in the FA Cup. Why not? We're 6th in the league. We're doing great. Premier League's a big priority. We want to do well in the Premier League. And when it comes to cups, someone's asked me this the other day, what would I prioritise, the FA Cup or the Europa League? I've had to say the Europa League. As much as I love the FA Cup, I've absolutely loved it, always loved it since I was a kid. The Europa League will give us Champions League football, and let's be honest, that is just, it's a bigger prize. I'm sorry, it just is slightly bigger in that regard. But in terms of history, the FA Cup. So look, I want to take it seriously, and I hope we do. I'm really hoping though that the the fact that we threw the Liverpool game, and I hate to say that because it feels like we're giving as if we, that was what we purposely tried to do. But let's be honest, we didn't really go for it. You get the feeling that, or what's concerning me is that we're going to have the same mentality about the FA Cup. The Moyes is going to go into thinking could do without this. I really don't think that is the case, but I hope that's not the case. I'm expecting a strong side in this, and I'm expecting a good performance, and I think we'll get it. I'll come to the prediction in a minute. Obviously, we're going to do our predictions as well, so get yourselves ready for this. You've got to have your team lineup. Or don't get me wrong, the team lineup is not really part of prediction. I'll just do it because I'm quite interested to see what you will think of your lineup for this game. But your score prediction is important. Get your score prediction in, and then you enter the draw, obviously free. And then if you get the score right, you enter the winners. Basically, one gets drawn out, and you get a gift from our shop. So make sure you get your scores in. We've got some interesting news though in regards to the team. Players are coming back. We could have a full strength side here, including Mikel Antonio. Mikel Antonio is expected to be in the side, as is Lucas Paqueta, which I think is a very big boost. Vladimir Soufal, I believe, and Kurt Zouma, all contenders for this. That's not to say they're all definitely going to be back. I don't know enough about the team at the moment, but it looks as though I'm pretty sure we're going to see Paqueta, and I'm 70-80% sure about Antonio. So that'd be very interesting. Look. Attack-minded performance from West Ham in this one. I really want to see a decent showing and just go out there, get a good result and show how good we are, show how good we can be. We've got a lesser opposition here that no doubt are going to be up for this. It's a great occasion for them, and so it bloody should be. And I really hope that they do enjoy it, experience, because it's a big ground. And we're doing well. West Ham have just won a trophy in Europe. We're sitting sixth in the Premier League. It's got the hallmarks of one of those occasions for Bristol City that they'll be really looking forward to. As I say, bringing 9,000 fans as well, so fair bloody play to them. It's going to be a good day, but I hope West Ham can show how good we are. Do you know what I mean? And I'm expecting a good game here, but I think West Ham should be, as long as David Moyes takes it seriously. And I think he will. For what I'm seeing of Billy McKinley's comments in the press prior to the game, it all seems to be leaning towards the fact we're going to go quite strong in for this and want the result, and bloody right and all. And also they've shown some pictures as well, the training, the players training, and it's all pretty much the first team are playing. I think I've even seen a picture of Paqueta. So I'm sure that we're going to go for this, and I really hope we do. So this is my team. If I was the manager, this is what I'll be picking. I'm going to put Lucas Fabianski in goal. Absolutely. He's our cup keeper this season. He's been brilliant. And let's be honest, he's good enough to be our first team goalkeeper as well. Him and Ariola have been excellent this season. I'll tell you what, we are bloody lucky as a football club to have two very good goalkeepers. Because I think we take it for granted, I certainly do at times. I forget how lucky we are. You look at bloody other clubs, even top clubs, Man United, who would have their shit? Do you know what I mean? Who would have fucking an Onana in the goal? No way. So I'm really grateful the fact that I can say Fabianski in goal and not be thinking, oh God, I hope he's all right. I think no, he's good as gold. He'll be fine. And vice versa. If someone says Ariola's playing, I'm like, brilliant. Do you know what I mean? It's no issue with him. So for me, Fabianski deserves this one, and he's in goal. I'm putting Ben Johnson at right back. I don't know for certain about his availability. I think he's okay. I haven't heard anything otherwise. I know he had a period, didn't he, against Brighton where he was limping, he was struggling a little bit, but I think he is fit. Vladimir Soufal is a contender here to return, but a part of me feels like as he's been ill, etc. Maybe it's just best just to rest him now. Maybe put him on the bench if need be, but maybe rest him up and get him fresh for when Premier League returns in a couple of weeks' time. So I'm going to put Ben Johnson there. And also, I think he played well, Johnson, against Brighton. He looked all right. I love him still. He's an academy boy. I want to see him do well. I'd love him to sign a new deal. I really would. Because he is a good player. He kind of reminded us against Brighton. He is a good player. When he's at it, he's all right. And maybe he's matured a little bit now, maybe just got give him a bit of a go. So I'd like to see Johnson playing in this. I've put Mavropanos and Ogbonna as the defenders. Now, Kurt Zouma is a contender to return. Much like Soufal, he's been off of his bad knees. I mean, I know you won't believe it. Zouma, a bad knee. You haven't laughed. It's true. Zouma's injured with a bad knee. I wouldn't risk him for this, personally. Again, maybe put him on the bench in case we desperately need him. But I would just say, look, if there's an injury, again, let's rest him up. Let's get him fresh and let's get him ready for Sheffield United in a couple of weeks. So that's what I'm thinking. So I have Mavropanos and Ogbonna. They've both been great anyway, and no reason why they couldn't carry on. Emerson at left back for me. I'm worried about burning him out a little bit, but he's so bloody important to us. I know that we're looking at left backs in this January transfer window. We need to, because I think Creswell's time's up now. I'm hoping that we can ship him out, actually, really, Aaron Creswell personally. But I want Emerson for this because he's vital to how we play. I've gotten really strong in this, by the way, my team. But I'll explain a couple of bits in a minute as to what I think we should be doing. This is how I would be playing it as manager. So at the moment, I've got Fabianski in goal, Johnson, Mavropanos, Ogbono and Emerson as my defence. I've got Alvarez and James Ward-Prowse as my midfield. Sorry, Alvarez and Souček as my midfield, with James Ward-Prowse playing ahead of them. So very standard as we usually play. I want Ward-Prowse more advanced to be distributing the ball. I've got Jared Bowen on the right. I've got Lucas Paqueta out on the left, and I've got Mikel Antonio up front. As far as I understand, Mikel Antonio is fully fit for this. He's been training for quite a while. I want to see him playing, actually. I really do. But I want some substitutions used in this game. I really do. I want to see the academy boys. I want that bench packed with its academy players. In fact, I've put 5 I want to see feature in this game. I want to see Callum Marshall on that bench. I want to see George Urphy on the bench, Ollie Scholes, Lewis Orford, and Divine Mabama. I want those 5 involved. I want to see some academy boys giving a go here. I would like to start seeing them once this game hopefully comes a bit comfortable, i.e. 2-0 up with 20 minutes to go, something like that, half hour, whatever. Start bringing these players out, or hopefully we will invite more at that point. I'm not trying to be cocky here because it's not going to be easy. We could be going out this cup. I'm not trying to suggest that it's going to be easy. I'm just going in my mind how I think it will pan out if we play our strongest side. I think that side will be just far too strong for Bristol City, especially at home. We're a decent home side, and I can see us, if we play that strength, I think we'll beat them. But I want to see these young boys giving a go. All right. Now, prediction time. I'm going for a comfortable win here. I'm going to go 3-0 West Ham. I don't like being cocky and too confident, because it usually bites me in the arse, to be honest. But I just can't help but feel that way if we go for that side. If we play a very weakened side, then I don't want to see the Fornals out, all right? I don't want to see him. I don't want to see Ben Rama. They're about to leave anyway. Stop giving these players more game time. They don't want to be here. And that's not a dig at these players, but it's just natural, okay? They want out. Give the young boys a chance now. These are the future. If you're not going to give these players a go, then when are you going to do it? This is a perfect game to give these players a go. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a couple of them start. I'd be happy to see Emerson come in at, say, left wing, put Paqueta on the bench to start, and have Ollie Scholes at left back. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy to see a bit of change, but my feeling is because they're a championship side, they're a decent side, Bristol City. I don't want to take it too lightly. I don't want to go into it cocky, thinking, yes, play those academy boys and we'll walk through it. I really want to see us go for this. But as I say, if we can get into that position where we feel comfortable, then bring them on and say, look, go out there, go and play half-hour football in front of 60,000 fans. I think they'd love it. So, look, big opportunity. Lewis Orford, of course, was on the bench as well for against Brighton, which I thought was fantastic. I'd love to see him get out there on the pitch. And look, it's going to be a great day. I love FA Cup, and let's just hope there's no banana skin for us on this one. We want to get through. We want to do well in the cup, and I think we will. So remember, get your predictions in. I've gone for 3-0. Let's see how we get on. Come on, you irons.